So why is working with our inner child or that younger part of ourselves such an invaluable tool for healing? So you may have done some of that work already, or you may roll your eyes even at the idea of it and think that's so ridiculous. But I'll tell you why it's so valuable. Because your life is being run by your child self, by your 2-year-old self, your 3-year-old self, 5-year-old self. You might not think that's the case, but the relationships that you develop, your career choices, how you handle conflict, how you are in everyday life, whether you're extrovert or introvert, whether you want to please people or whether you're super independent, your drive for success, all comes from decisions you made when you were a child. And it often comes from the decisions that you made, not consciously. It's not like you sat down and went, right, I'm going to decide to be independent now, and that's the way I'm going to be in the world. That's not how it works. How it works is that there were situations when you were young and you felt overwhelmed or you didn't know how to handle them. And so you developed ways of being to survive and cope with those situations that then became your normal, your personality. Like, that's just the way the world is. That's just the way that I am. And you don't even realize that you created them. That actually, if you went back in time, you might have turned out to be quite different. You might have created quite different ways of being for yourself. But you chose these based on particular ways of surviving situations that were challenging for you. So for example, are you really independent? Because if you're independent, like super independent, and you struggle to trust people or you struggle to let yourself rely on other people to get things done, and you might think, oh, I need to do it because otherwise it won't get done properly. Chances are you grew up in an environment where you did not have the support you needed. You felt like if I relied on anybody, they would let me down. So I have no choice but to do it on my own. And then you stopped reaching out for help and you have figured it all out on your own. Or perhaps you grew up, if you're someone who pleases other people, you struggle to have your own voice. And you were like, whatever you want to do, we'll do, that's fine, I don't mind. Chances are you grew up in an environment where in order to feel loved or survive that family system, you were like, just blend in, just do whatever's going, don't make any waves, don't cause conflict, just make everybody else happy, and then everything will be fine. Even your success. Some people are really driven to success. And that's often because they grew up in environments that when they failed something or got something wrong, they felt shamed, they felt like it was not okay, and then they are driven from then on to be successful at things. So even though it can be seemingly a good thing, like being independent, wanting success, just be aware that your childhood self is actually the one that's running the show in your life right now. Your relationship patterns, who you're drawn to, based on childhood patterns and your childhood wounds. Perhaps you're drawn to really strong people, father figures, mother figures. Perhaps you're drawn to people where you feel like you're safe and it's hard for you to take risks. So if we really want to change patterns and triggers, we need to be able to look and feel into our younger self. That doesn't mean we have to remember everything about our childhood. We don't have to remember any of it, because any strong emotion that comes up for you now in your present days, the things that you avoid, the things that overwhelm you, chances are that is your young person, your young self that is showing up. And what you probably do is invalidate it, push it down, say I don't have time for this, step up, push through, whatever it is that you do when that happens. But actually what it is it's showing you that those younger parts of yourself need to be supported. They're not bad things. Those strong emotions that come up, the triggers that you have, the repeated patterns, they're actually ways of saying, you know what? When I was young, and when you were a young person, you didn't have the resources that you have now, you couldn't make the decisions, other people were making decisions about your life. This was too much for me. And that part of you still shows up in your life. But if you can start to develop a compassionate response to those emotions and those triggers from your adult self, and just say, you know what? I can feel that younger part of me coming up right now, feeling really scared and vulnerable right now. I know logically there's no issue. I know logically I'm fine, but that young part of me that was just terrified to be seen is showing up right now. So I just want to just feel that and just validate. I get that. That's okay that you feel that way, that part of me feels that way. But the adult part of me has got this. The adult part of me is going to be okay, and so the younger part of me doesn't have to be scared anymore. So you need to be able to validate it. And that way, your younger self starts to feel safe, because that's the critical key here. How's the healing happen? If the younger you doesn't feel safe, then you're never going to be able to heal those triggers and patterns that the unsafe version of you created to survive the world. So your job now as an adult, as a resourced adult, is to create a compassionate relationship with that younger self. Listen to her or him when they show up, and learn how to nurture and help that part of you feel safe. If you do that work, it will be transformative for you and extraordinary, because you'll be able to take care of yourself. You'll be able to listen to the brilliance of your younger self as well, the intuition, the inspiration, the joy, the open heart, all the things that you felt like you had to squash because it wasn't safe will start to become more available for you. So working with your inner child is not some weird blah, blah, blah. It's actually really important, and it's really practical ways to do it, and it will be transformative if you do it in a right way, in a safe way. Thank you, and I hope that's been helpful.